best not miss. Okay, we got my people definitely in the building. Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones. We are up in the house tonight, and we got heat. I'm not gonna lie, we definitely have heat. Some people might hate us after tonight's show, but, as a matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead off the top of. You know what? Let me try something we've never tried before. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can rock out with 4 platforms. I hope everybody had a crazy nuts Friday. Let me say what's up to my people first. Shout out to my brother AJ, definitely in this situation, rocking out with us. Hoorah! You already know. Dr. K in the building, rocking out with us. Most definitely. My brother AJ setting this mother effer off. We're going to chill out on the soundboard too. We're only going to be giving the soundboard off. You already know my brother said kicking this situation off. Listen, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this because tonight's show. Okay, so we'll do Instagram right here. We'll do Instagram right here. Yeah, this is going to be nuts. This is going to be nuts. Never done this before. Never done this before. We're going to call that one Salvage Title Relationships. We're not going to say what we really want to say. But listen, I guarantee you guys are going to get an eye-opener tonight. I promise you're going to get an eye-opener. You're going to come to the understanding of why it's so difficult. I want to ask you guys, have you... No, you guys know I do not. Hey, I do not play about that. I do not play. Have you guys ever stopped to think about, listen, I've told you guys I don't have these issues, but why in the hell is it so difficult? Why in the hell is it so difficult to date? Dating's not supposed to be that damn hard. Dating is not supposed to be that hard. A boy is supposed to like a girl is supposed to like a boy. How the hell is dating so hard? We're going to do this. No effects. We don't need any effects. No. No effects. Let's just get to it. Okay. We have research that has been done. You guys are going to love tonight's show. Salvage title dating. We'll just call it that. Let's see. Let's see here. Boom. Oh, man, we got 4 platforms going tonight, people. Shout out to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Definitely in the building, rocking out with us. You already know what it is. Let's go. Let's go. We're talking about a 4-alarm blaze in this situation tonight. Listen, people, dating is not supposed to be as hard as the debacles that we seem to be seeing every rip. You're hearing it all across social media. You're hearing it everywhere. Everybody's having trouble from dating. But I'm going to be honest with you. We're having trouble dating. There's a portion of it that is due to men, but not the initial. The initial is being able to be attracted to the opposite sex, right? Women aren't that attractive to men anymore. It's because of the amounts of damage that you've done to yourself long before I ever even get to you. Long before I ever even get to you. Listen, this is not to cut anybody up. This is not to slight anybody or anything. What I'm telling you is, fellas, you know this to be true. Men like a certain thing. Men like a certain type of women, right? Men like women who don't have children. Men like women who aren't overweight. Men like women who are feminine. But here's the problem that we're facing. By the time we get a hold to you guys, you're already all of those things. You've already accrued a high body count, right? You've already you've already become a baby mama. And in a lot of cases, you've already become a multi-tier baby mama. You have multiple children by multiple men. You have no room to be complaining about this dating thing because you guys are the reason that men and women can't get together. Listen, if you wanted to say, listen to me. If you wanted to talk about men cheating or something like that, if you wanted to talk about men not being sensitive enough, things like that, I'll give you all of that, right? Whatever. But we don't even get to make it to that place yet. We don't get to make it there yet. We don't get to make it to where me and you get together because when I'm looking for a woman and I become interested in you and I find out that you have a high body count, then you have a child, and majority of you have multiple children by multiple men. Due to the relationships that you've encountered, the ups and downs, things not going your way, you're kind of a smart mouth woman. Listen, you guys have done significant levels of damage to yourselves. This is where we've been shopping, fellas. We've been shopping. Listen, I know. You guys aren't going to want to hear this. Listen, I know you guys aren't going to want to hear this, but let's go. Turbulence, people. For those of you who aren't familiar with the show, when you hear that, I'm probably about to rock the boat a little bit. Fellas, we've been shopping in the salvage yard. This is where we've been shopping, fellas. So why are y'all surprised at what you've been getting? Right? Why are you surprised at what you've been getting? If you're dating 30 and older, 30 plus and older women, you have a car that has been to the salvage yard. In most instances, you have a vehicle that has been to the salvage yard. They've been ran through. Listen, they do it as a sport. Now don't forget those mint condition classics that are still very valuable, right? And I'm talking about there are some older women in their 40s, there's just some older women who are amazing. Maybe was so valuable that she got snatched up in the early years of her life, right? Somebody married her, the man passed away, or they got divorced or something like that. She's probably an amazing woman, very feminine, and she's back out there on the dating market. Situations like that. But for the most part, if you're dating women past 35 years old, you're in trouble.
Dead man walking.
Hold on. I don't even have, let me make sure Instagram is over here rocking with us. Chances are, if you're dating women who are 35 years and older, you're dating someone who has been through the war zone. And I'm going to make sure that I make this explicit. Don't count out the classic vehicles, those mint condition classics that are still very valuable. Just know when you're dealing with a mint condition classic and a totaled out wreck, right? What I want to talk to you guys about, I've come to a conclusion. What we've been trying to do, because we're empathetic, we're compassionate people. We've been trying to talk to the women who we see on TikTok, the women who we see on Instagram, things like that. We've been trying to talk to them 35 plus year older women, some of them even 50, trying to tell them that women like feminine women, that men like feminine women, men like women who don't have kids, men like women who don't have the smart attitudes, men like women who don't have high body counts. Now, there's a problem with all of those. The older a woman gets, the more she's played in those areas. So we're basically talking to women who can't undo the things that are on them that men don't typically like. She's going to have her smart mouth. You see them come up here often. We can't talk them out of being masculine. We can't talk them out of having 3 children by 3 different men. A lot of you ladies have done things to yourself that men already don't like. You've already done things to yourself that men don't like. And a lot of those things can't be undone. It's called irreparable damage. Shout out to my brother AJ over here rocking out with us, supporting the show. Love Lace is definitely in the building. One time. Good evening, everybody. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Shout out to my brother MP over here rocking out with us. Stacy, you speak the truth, and the truth hurts, and it will set you free up in this mother effer. Listen, that's just what it is. This information hurts women. I get it. That is not my intention at all. That's not my intention. But here's what would have made you exempt from these conversations. If, when you were in your youth, I'm going to go ahead and break it down to you. Turbulence, people. The dating course that you guys know that I've just recently finished. I was talking to somebody who I really respect. Her daughter is about to go to college. And I was telling her all of the things that are contained in my dating course about how women typically don't have any leverage when they start dating because they've already accrued all of the things that men don't like in a woman. High body count, probably a child, things like that. Guess what she said? She said, you need to reach the girls in college before they make those mistakes. Listen, we're about to market the entire dating course. It's going to be called the college curriculum. See, because what we've been doing, we've been trying to talk to these older women and tell them how to not be the things that men disapprove of. But the fact that proof that it won't work is they buck against us when we're having these discussions with them. That's proof that it doesn't even matter and that it doesn't work. These women can't be unbroken. Some of them have had trains ran on them. Some of them have had a vast number of men nut inside of them. Some of these women can't even attach to a partner anymore because of how much profuse sex they've had. So we're talking to the wrong people. We're literally talking to the wrong people. Women who are 40 and up, listen, they can't be helped. And those who you would say, well, that you can't say that for every one of them. I agree with that. But the number of them in that age range is so small to where it would be really, really tough to identify them. Listen, our good women today dress like our hoes dress in the black community. Think about it. The long eyelashes, the matted up hair weave stapled in the top of their heads, right? Over-sexual dressing. It's difficult for men to tell from the hoes from the feminine women or the hoes from the good women. And femininity can't be hidden. But here's the issue with it. I have to be attracted to you in order to even get close enough to you to talk to you and see that you're a feminine woman. But I'm not going to get attracted to you enough in that way because what I'm standing across the street, what I see in you is just like the rest of these women. Right? Why women have the most power before they make the dating mistakes men don't want is the most important thing that you guys are going to encounter in this dating obstacle that you're going to go through. I already know this is the kind of conversation that makes people uncomfortable because anytime you start telling the truth about dating, especially modern dating, people get emotional. But people, I'm not here tonight to make sure that you're comfortable. I'm not here to baby your delusion. We're going to talk real reality tonight. And the reality is this. A woman has the most leverage in the dating market before she makes the mistakes that men find unattractive. That's when she has the most leverage. Have you guys ever thought about this? Women used to be able to get men to do just about anything. We don't give a damn what you say now. We don't. You'll bust down too easy. You're not wife material. I met you at the club that night and blew your butt out in my car next to the club. And then once I blow you out really, really good and you get, well, you used to have so much sex you can't even get sprung anymore. So let me say that a different way. Once you deem that Mike Johnson is so good that I'm somebody you would like to continue having in your life, right? Well, it doesn't work. Because I've already deemed you to be the caliber of woman that's just like these other women. I blew your back out the first night. Now, I'm not going to condemn people getting down on the first night because I do believe this too. I do believe that a person can carry themselves so well. I believe, like myself, if I dress the part and I smell the part, right? I smell amazing. I've dressed amazing. And I handle myself very well that night. Well, that's probably what's supposed to happen. It just simply means that I impressed you. So I don't always condemn women who get their black backs blew out on the first night. But what I'm telling you is the reality is this. A woman has the most leverage in the dating market before she makes the mistakes that men find unattractive, before she becomes a single mother, before she gets a high body count, before she accrues multiple children by multiple men, before she picks up that bitter spirit from being in this relationship, getting busted down by him, and turning spiteful, right? Before she puts on a lot of unnecessary weight, before she accumulates a bunch of emotional damage and then expects a man to come in and pay full price for what life's bad choices other men already wore her down. No, we're not doing that. We're not paying that price. You want us to pay full price. You want us to treat you like virgins when men who are losers have gotten head from you. But I am a man about my business. I have done well for myself. Okay, something is wrong with this. That's TikTok. Let me see here. Let me see something. TikTok doesn't look right. We'll try this. We'll try to do this so that TikTok. Yeah, we'll do it like that. That's still not helping, but it's the best that I could do. Listen, you guys want to paint men as the villains and things like that. No, you're just not offering us anything that we could say, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. What you guys offer usually makes us say, who's going for that? And then the reason that we know that they're bad deals is because whenever we ask you, would you want your son dating a woman who has 3 children by 3 different men? Would you want your son dating a woman who has a high body count? You guys all say no, but you're trying to get us to settle for it right this very second. You out of your damn mind. You out of your damn mind. Shout out to all of my people on Instagram rocking with us. Salute, salute. I don't know how to, let me see something. Okay, yeah, maybe we could do it like that. Yeah, that's better. That's better. People speaking in Arabic over here. Agree to Disagree podcast over here supporting the show, rocking out with us. A woman's leverage is her youth, beauty, her chastity. 35 and up, she loses 2 or all of those qualities in a quality man's eyes. Game over. I couldn't have said it better myself. I want to read that again. My brother said, a woman's leverage is her youth. Listen, and let's talk about what leverage is. Leverage is when I get hooked on this, right? When I get hooked on that, and the guy who sells it, he has an abundance of it. He can pretty much get me to do whatever he wants me to do. He has all the leverage. He has something that I want really badly. A lot of you are coming into the dating market not having something that we really want. You think we come into this thing like this? Heavenly Father, and I pray that you bless me with a woman who has 3 children by 3 different men, so my friends will make fun of me from time to time whenever we go to the bar and things like that. And I just ask that you, bless me, that woman picks up significant amount of weight. Oh, Heavenly Father, and please bless her to have an extremely high body count. Is that what you think we've been asking God for? Is that what you think we've been asking God for? 35 and up, most of you already have done all of these things. 35 and up, most of you have already done these things. And you get pissed off when we won't accept it like it's a treasure or a prize of some sort. Shout out to my brother MP over here supporting the show. Stacy, the curriculum is genius. I will help. The young ladies are key. I agree. We've been doing this for 4 years. We've been doing this for 4 years. We've been talking to these women. It's because men are more caring and forgiving than women are. So seeing how we see all of these older women, they're down there in the comments sometime and they're like, I want a good man too. We say, okay, we're not going to exclude them from the information because we want them to have good outcomes too. But then they end up wishing that we expire soon. They end up saying things about our mothers. It's because this has passed them. They're no longer eligible. The things that we're telling them that they need to do. Shout out to my brother Biggs over here. Where my brother Biggs been? Salute to you, my brother. That's my stay one for real. They can't comprehend what we're saying because listen, I want you guys to pay attention to this. I really want you to pay attention to this. Yes, we're on TikTok as well. The Real Stacey Prince with the number 2. We're on YouTube. YouTube is where you're going to get the best of the show. I have to admit, we got a smoking hot chat on our YouTube. The hottest show online, people. Right? But listen, I want you guys to pay attention to this. I want you to think about this. Check this out now. Think about how little trouble you'll have convincing a woman who just got out of college, a 28-year-old, she needs to maintain her weight. A 28-year-old that she doesn't need to be having kids because men don't like it. All of the things that we don't like, we won't have trouble convincing a 22-year-old of those things because he's already not done them, except she's probably been experienced actually. But for a feminine, attractive, youthful girl, we'll overlook a body count. We'll overlook a body count. If she has like 10 bodies or something like that, a man will overlook it because at that age, she could still be submerged in our program, right? She could still be very, very valuable. But now, flip that script. A woman who's 40 and up, she's already big and you sitting here telling her to go through the task of losing the weight. She's already got the kids and you're trying to convince her to be something other than a woman who has kids, which men don't like. See, the nail is in the coffin in some of these things. The nail is in the coffin in some of these things. It's almost like we're talking to people and trying to undo time. Now, I will say this. I don't disqualify women who are 40 and up because they're, again, femininity, and some of them have their children out of the house already, things like that. Those women can still score, provided they're not difficult to deal with. But I think my childhood friend is currently fighting for his life. He recently had a fight with his baby mother's first baby daddy. He couldn't take an ass whooping, so he pulled out that thing and let it go multiple times. This is what I'm telling you. Listen, Sano said the day of multiple stepdaddy is over. You guys have been putting up with it for too long and you didn't even know it. You were never supposed to put up with this. Our grandfathers didn't. We have to get back to the blueprint of what we saw work. We saw it work with our grandparents. The reason we know it worked is because they were married for 60 and 70 years. And the only reason that ended is because one of them passed. Homes were getting passed down. We were growing up inside of structure. Not today. Because men are being asked to put up with too much. Listen, those of you ladies who say, I don't like what Stacey's saying, I regret that, right? I'm not here to make you feel terrible, but some mistakes cost. If you don't believe me, go to your local cemetery and look at some of those 23-year-old boys who didn't know that you're not supposed to call a grown man a bitch-ass nigga. Listen, we pay the cost just like you guys do. Yours often affects you in dating. We lose our lives sometimes. Actually, often. Or we get a hell of whooping. You see, Sano said, I appreciate it, J-Babe. I appreciate the love. Listen, if you don't want to listen to the men who are the purchasers of women, who the hell else can tell you how to be what we like, what we respect, what we protect, what we take care of? If you don't know how to be those things, we won't like you. We won't respect you. We won't protect you. We won't take care of you. And then when we don't like you, don't respect you, don't protect you, don't take care of you, you get on you get on social media and say men ain't shit. Think about this. Think about this. Some of you guys have really salute. Some of you guys have girlfriends. Some of you ladies have girlfriends. Sweet as hell. I'm talking about this girl, quiet, soft-spoken, a support system for you. I bet you she doesn't have a bad reputation. I bet you she doesn't. I bet you people aren't out there talking bad about her. I'm going to say this again. Some of you ladies have a girlfriend who's soft. This girl, she's just average looking, but she's so soft, feminine, and fit to where everybody just likes her, right? She doesn't go to clubs and things like that, right? You got a kid, and sometimes she'll come over and babysit just to let you go on out and give you a breather. I bet you that girl doesn't have a bad reputation. Guess where I'm going with this? It simply means the things that we say about some of you are true. The qualms that we have with you are true. Men aren't just waking up saying, you know what? Let's go find some amazing women who are almost perfect and lie on them and say they ratchet, Jezebelish, debaucherous, high body count jigaboos. Let's just go do. Who the hell has time to make up a lie on you? The outcomes that you guys are getting, they're justified. Men are not looking at you and saying, she's so amazing. She's so soft. Every time I'm around her, she just makes me feel good. Men aren't seeing women like that and then going and tell one of their friends, man, that bitch ain't shit. That's not what's happening. You're earning these reputations. You're earning these outcomes. Listen, you guys have locked yourselves in with a lifetime of bad decisions. Those bad decisions, I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm not even going to do it. Those bad decisions don't disappear. Energy doesn't die, it transfers. So they say. So that means you still have to pay the piper eventually. You like to give head and swallow nut, and it doesn't really matter whose you swallow? Okay, you changed your life. But now you're ready to get in a meaningful relationship, and men who have heard about your past from 5 years ago won't touch you. A reputation transfer. Your reputation is keeping you from scoring. Your reputation is keeping you from scoring. So don't get on social media talking about men ain't shit, because that is evidence of your delusion if you think men are just getting up to lie on good women. Is that what you think? Men are just lying on good women? No, you're earning that. You're earning that. You're asking men, listen, you gotta we gotta start communicating. And see, those of you who have already made these bad decisions, take these shows and please press them up on your young daughters who still have a chance, who have not been out there getting busted down for the sport of it, who have not gained all of that weight, who have not been in so many up and down experiences with men to where now she's bitter and got a negative outlook on men, who doesn't have any multiple children by multiple men. We got to talk to them because they are the ones who will prepare the way for the generation that is to come after us. Before she accumulates a bunch of emotional damage and then expects a man to come in and pay full price for a woman who has lived a life full of bad choices and who other men have already wore her down. We're not paying full price for that. You guys should see that by now. Listen, but I'm going to throw this in there. Those of you ladies who know that you were hoes at one point in time or another, we don't condemn you to hell. We don't look at you like you're pieces of... Okay, let me take that back. We don't condemn you to hell, and you can rebound, but you likely won't, because the work that it takes to lose that weight, the work that it takes to be feminine, right? Most of you aren't willing to do it. Listen, you already have that child. So you might have to deal with a man who occasionally, now I'm not saying he shouldn't cheat more than 3 times, 4 times throughout the duration of your relationship, but you've done so much damage to yourself to where, ask yourself, can you really afford to leave a man who's cheated on you a few times and you already have a couple of kids by a couple of different men? Where are you going to go after you leave him? Where are you going to go after that? I want to take you back. I want to take your mind back to someplace. I want to take your mind back to how dating was for you before you scored this man who was willing to accept you with those 2 children. You remember how long it took you? You remember how many times you gave a ninja some head thinking that that was going to make him like you better? You remember how many times you let a boy blow your butt out thinking that if I just give him the other hole, then he'll want to be in a relationship? You remember all of that stuff that you went through and it took years and you didn't get locked down? But now, because this man's cheated, but he's good to your kids, he's good to you, he's a good provider, just a good man, but he's still flawed in the area of cheating sometimes. He's done it 3 times throughout the duration of your relationship. He shouldn't do it more than that. My point is this. Because the damage that you've done, you have to settle for some things that you wouldn't have to settle for if you hadn't have done that damage to yourself. It's called making the contract fair. You guys keep bringing unfair deals to men and getting pissed off when we won't accept it. So let's put this in the shout out to my brother ZF over here rocking out with us. Salute, my brother. See, and you guys get pissed off when you hear us talk like this. But if you listen, I swear it will help your dating life. I swear it will. It's already been effective in other markets, right? Think about it from the perspective of a car. When you drive a car off of the showroom floor, it loses value right then and there. And Lord forbid you scrape up against a guardrail. You can't pay, you can't get the same price that you were able to get for that thing before it had the flaws and blemishes on it. But you guys think that you can go out and accrue flaws and blemishes and still get showroom price for yourselves. And that's crazy. Have you been getting it? Out of all of the men you've crossed paths with, have you been getting the price that you think you deserve for yourself? No. You haven't been getting it. You haven't been getting it. See, that's when a woman has her greatest dating leverage. That's when a woman has her dating leverage. That's when she has her greatest power. That's when she can most strongly influence the type of man that she wants and gets, the level of treatment that she receives, right? And the kind of outcomes that she creates. You guys don't have any leverage. You're coming into these relationships already having given the majority of the leverage to the men. Because in most cases, the men can do better than what the women are coming into their life offering. In most cases, think about this. We can get us a 29-year-old who doesn't have kids, easily doesn't have kids, easily doesn't have any weight to lose, easily doesn't have a bad attitude because she hasn't been up and down on the dating ladder dealing with multiple men getting hearts broken things, right? She's usually going to be better than you. But you guys don't think that you have to compete. What I mean when I say compete is if men have an overwhelming plethora, there's 3 million more women in America than there are men, and in the African American community, there's 2.5. We don't have to settle for what you're offering. And there's something that's keeping you guys from acknowledging that. We don't have to settle for what you're offering. We can get pissed off at you at any given time and go get a 29-year-old. Listen, any of the men down here can do it. It's easy. And I'm going to be honest. If he's black, it'll be even easier. Black men, listen. Black men, women across all colors of ethnic groups are attracted to black men. We can date effortlessly across the color spectrum. And you guys, I don't even know who that is. I can't do that because da da da. Let me see. Plug that right there. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so I'll do this. Let me try something. No, that doesn't work. I didn't realize. You know what? Let me try something. I didn't realize it was going to be difficult for me to let people come up, so we'll do it like this. Somebody was trying to come up. Let me see something. Word of God. Okay. Word of God.
Good evening, man of God. How are you?
Hey man,
Hey, my brother,
tell me how your
watching the
night's
show
going.
right now. Oh well, man. I'm telling you, it was a great day today. We taught some about.
That's what I'm talking about.
But you can't please everybody.
Right.
Especially when you're speaking the truth,
Right.
Yeah. So what's the topic tonight?
We're talking about. Give me a second. We're talking about. Wow, there's a lot of feedback. Listen, can you go down and come back up for me? There's a lot of feedback going on for some reason.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sure thing.
All right. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, so it's actually picking up from the laptop. But listen, this is what I'm telling you guys. We've been shopping at the salvage yard, is what's been going on. We've been shopping at the salvage yard. A woman's value and the things that make men be willing to jump through a few hoops in order to be in a relationship with her. By the time we make it to you guys in your late 30s, you don't even have those things anymore. And I'm going to help you understand. Here's what I mean when I say this. Here's the things that make men desire a woman. No kids. She's fit. She's feminine and low body count. These are the things that make men desirous of women to be in long-term relationships with them. By the time we get to you guys, when you guys are in your 40s, you don't have any of those things. You don't have any of those things. So the question becomes, then why the hell would I get in a long-term relationship with you? Why would I get in a long-term relationship with you? They're not. That's the answer. You're not getting locked down because you've already done damage to the things that are most important to men. Let me make sure that where is this feedback coming from? Mic check. Don't really want to do it like that. Try it like this. And then you guys get on social media and you say that men ain't shit. No, it's not that men ain't shit. It's you have so much dating damage attached to you to where men can see it. Listen, we know you have children. I'm going to tell you ladies something too. Let's go. Turbulence, people. I'm about to give away something that the men will probably crucify me for. I might get kicked out of the Men's National Association for this. Turbulence, people. Ladies, when we're talking to you on a first date or something like that, follow me now. When we're talking to you guys on a first date and the conversation is like this, yeah, I have 2 children, 2 beautiful children and da-da-da. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, that is amazing. Bullshit.
Dead man. Dead man walking.
What we really feel like inside when you tell us that is, okay, well, shit. That's what we feel like. We know from that moment we're not going to lock you down because you're not. Woo. I'm about to get in trouble. Turbulence, people. If you're not familiar with the show, when you hear that, I'm probably about to say something that's going to ruffle some feathers. The moment you tell us on the first date that you have children, from that moment, we know you're not special. Not the type of special we're looking for. See, if you were special, you would be opposite of the average woman. The average woman has kids. You would be special if you were opposite of the average woman. But you're not. You're a part of that blend with the average woman. That doesn't mean you're not special in other areas, but, right? The moment that you tell us that you have children. Now, here's where there's an exception. If she's an above average beautiful woman, she's going to have, listen, in order for a quality man to be willing to accept a woman who has children, you're going to have to probably be if one of those kids isn't 18 and on his way out the door, and the other one below 10, one of them can be below the age of 10 if one of them is approaching the door and about to head to college or something like that. But other than that, if you have two children who are younger than 15, in order to get a quality man to lock you down for something long-term and serious, you're going to have to be a very beautiful woman. You're definitely going to have to be fit. But see, you guys are coming to the table thinking that you can just slide up on men with just about anything. And it doesn't work like that. For a long time, I used to focus heavily on women who had already made those mistakes. I used to try to help women who were already bitter. Women who already had children. Women who already had a lot of mileage on them on the dating market. Women who had already made the kind of choices that men, especially with men of options, don't prefer. I used to try to encourage them, try to motivate them, try to help them lose weight, right? Try to help them become more pleasant. Try to help them increase their odds of dating, even though they had kids, even though they were already carrying baggage, even though the dating market had already penalized them. And what I eventually realized was this. The reason that those women are struggling to get attention of the men that they want, it's not random. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't because there were no good men. It was because many of the mistakes that men find unattractive, those women had already made those mistakes. They had already made those mistakes. And once those mistakes are already made, the woman is no longer competing for her strongest position. So I came to a conclusion. Those women who most need this information, they're not the women who already made every major dating mistake. The women who most need this information are the women who have not yet made those mistakes. The women who are still in position. The women who still have leverage. The women who still have advantage. Right? The women who still have natural beauty that men are drawn to. Youthful beauty. This is who this conversation is for. It's who they're for. The women who have the most power in dating are usually the women who have not yet made big mistakes that shrink their leverage with men. What we've been trying to do, we've been trying to unwreck cars. We've been trying to untotal cars. Old cars at that. I know this sounds harsh. I don't mean it to sound harsh. I do not mean it to sound harsh. But what about unrealistic expectations? That's the bulk of what we're talking about. That's everything that we're talking about. Respectfully, you be making. I don't understand that. Much respect, Ty, much respect. Nothing wrong with having differences. Love your page. It has helped me in the relationship world. Man, that's what we're here to do. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. Glad that things are getting better for you. Magic Man said, "I don't sleep with trash." Okay, you see what I'm saying? And you guys got to come to the knowledge of what we consider to be trash. Just think about it. I'm going to go naked inside of a poontang. If you have 25 bodies, I'm going to go raw dog in that? You think that that's considered a trophy? You've given some men head and swallowed. And me locking in with you is a trophy? I'm not here to bash you or make you feel bad, but I'm trying to get you to see men's view of this thing. We're really logical creatures and we look at things head on. I'm not even saying those of you who have done those things, you're not worth anything. You're worth something to somebody, right? But it's just not the people you're typically attracted to. You have to be, if you have done those things, if you have made all of those mistakes on the dating highway, you have to become the caliber of person who is not that particular about a man's looks, not that particular about where a man works. Because those men are reserved for all of the women who have not yet made those mistakes. The women who don't have children, the women who don't have high body counts, the women who are fit, the women who are feminine, right? And I'm going to say that again because people need to hear it. The women who have the most power in dating are not usually the women trying to recover from every mistake. They are usually the women who have not made those mistakes yet. Women who are younger, women who do not have children yet, women who do not have multiple children by multiple men, who have not piled up crazy sexual history, women who still have a fresh presentation in the dating market. I get that nobody wants to admit I'm one of the ones who probably. I agree. I agree. I don't understand that. So come on up. Let me see what you're talking about. For men over 40 and women as well, do you feel that we sometimes keep the expectations of a partner from of a partner for my youth? Almost definitely. We've done whole shows. Listen, we've done whole shows about that. Let me see something. I get what they're saying now. Tell me how your night is going.
It's great. I'm happy to be alive. How are you?
I can say everything that you just said. Love it. Love it. Convey to me again what you were saying.
All right. So, talking for older women, I'm 50 years old, but I'll go to 40 years old. I literally, knock on wood, I made a post about this on my Instagram today. I feel sometimes that we take our expectations of what we want in a spouse or in a partner
Right.
based off of ideals that we had when we were young.
That's one
I
thousand
do
percent.
agree. I do agree that we need to be healthy, right? I'm not obesity being tolerated on any level, whether it be from a man or from a woman's point of view, right? But I think sometimes what older women do, right? We still using the ideals of that drug dealer dude that
Right.
we wanted back when we were 23 years old. And then we see a grown man that he's a post office mail carrier and we insult him because back when we had dudes that had the cash and wasn't really working hard, and we still have that mentality, right? But it's not all of us. But the same go for men, right? I follow you. I follow you on YouTube. I love what you say, but the same go for men.
You think
You
so?
talk about the not having of kids. You talk about women that are younger, but that youthfulness lacks wisdom. And so when I hear a man that's 40, I didn't say intelligence, I said wisdom, right? When I hear a man that's 40 plus saying he don't want to deal with a woman that is older, he wants a younger woman, that makes me already know that he's not interested in a wise woman.
Nah,
Right?
hold on. That's not true. You just listen. That's not true. If he tells you, "I'm not interested in a wise woman," I would understand where you're coming from. But so let me ask you this: do you think that you were more innocent when you were 17 than you are now?
I was more naive.
But I'm using the word innocent. Do you, we can look that word? I'll look it up for you. Do you believe you were more innocent?
I will say yes.
Okay.
To answer that question.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you believe innocence is a good or a bad thing?
I think innocence is a wonderful thing.
Okay, hold on. Now, do you believe that you had, that doesn't mean you have a crazy body count now, but do you believe that you had fewer actual partners when you were 17 than you do now?
100%. I was a virgin.
Hey, you guys can't call in when you see. Damn it. You guys can't call in when you see me online. Do you believe that you have fewer kids than you have right now at 17?
100%. Okay.
Almost everything got better when you were younger, and that's why men say that they prefer younger women. More damage. Listen, your car, if you never have a wreck, that odometer is still going to keep flipping.
This is where I have to disagree because I don't think things were better at 17 though. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I'm talking about for me.
Well, but listen, I don't want to take it to. I don't want to take it there. Of course, we know as you grow, you develop and evolve. Developing and evolving is better. But I'm talking about the real physical things. Like before you ever got beat up by somebody, before you ever got bullied in school, you were more pure. You had a different outlook on life. Before you caught that man with your sister, things with your mind, you had a different outlook on men. So when men say that they're interested in younger women, that's what they're talking about. That doesn't mean they want a naive woman. I don't think many men at all want a naive woman because she can't do nothing but get in the way.
Oh, I can understand where you're coming from, right? But I don't think going through those things, age dictates that. I don't think every woman that gets to 40, 45 has been dragged through the mud when it comes to relationships. I don't think every woman makes.
But listen, I don't want us to get caught up in using the word every and all. We don't do that up here. Like, because all of us, as adults, we know. Listen, as adults, we all know that all white people aren't racist. All black people aren't gangbangers. So we speak in generalizations, just getting to our points. You know what I mean? But I will say this.
When you say that, the things that men want, no children, right? Because you speak on that particular phrase a lot. No kids, or unless your kid is walking out the door, right? And that right there now means that you want a woman that may not be as experienced in life. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Listen, you're hold on. You're stretching things. Hold on. You're really stretching things really badly in that particular area. Listen, so I want you to hear what you said. You said when a man says that he doesn't want a woman with kids, it means he doesn't want a woman with experience in life. Those two have nothing.
Sounds like
okay, but listen.
When you say that,
okay, hold on.
Like you're implying.
Do you remember Condoleezza Rice? Amazing black woman. I believe she was Secretary of State. Secretary of State. Now I don't think she had kids, yet she still had experience in life, and I'm talking about went on to excel. Even if she does have kids, under the premise that she doesn't. Me and you both know that there are some women who don't have kids who have went on to accomplish amazing feats, right?
Right.
So they do have experience in life.
But not necessarily regarding relations.
Ma'am,
Yes,
are you listening to
individuals.
what you're
No,
saying?
I'm talking about intimate relationships with men.
So you're saying a woman can't have intimate. Hold on. You keep putting two things together. We're gonna tackle one at a time. Are you saying that a woman who doesn't have kids can't have experienced intimate relationships with men?
No, I didn't say that. I said she may not. I didn't say that because she chose not to have kids means that she never had a man. That's not what I'm implying.
Okay, so tell us what you said.
Repeat
Repeat what you said.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Repeat what you said. You said the one. Go. Repeat what you said so everybody can get it. You said a woman who has not had children.
You have women that choose not to have kids that are not experienced with men. Like they may still be virgins at 45.
Oh my God!
I know a couple.
Oh my God!
Well, I'm not speaking generally. I'm talking from my personal experience with the circle of women that I've come in encounter with, right? And then I have women that choose not to have any children and are very successful in their lives, right? But when you say that men don't want those things, right? Because that's what you were saying before, right? You was like, men are interested in, oh, you got 2 kids, and you're like, that's what you said when you're on a date and the date.
Watch this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this, sweetheart. Let's do it like this. We are on 4 different platforms right now. Fellas, give me a thumbs up if you desire to have a woman who has other men's children. Give me a thumbs down if you prefer to have a woman who has no children. Watch this, ma'am. You don't have to hear it. You don't have to hear it from me. Watch this. There we go on TikTok already. We on TikTok. They setting it off already.
Everybody's thumbs is up. The thumbs are up.
No, the thumbs are down. They're down. Look, YouTube, Instagram, thumb down. It's our nature. Do you know? Look at these thumbs up, the downs down here. Look at them. Now, see, and here's the problem that we often have. The problem we often have is we can't get you guys to listen to us. If we say we don't like strawberry shortcake, don't be trying to force us to like strawberry shortcake.
Facts. 100%. I agree with that 100%.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you you have a son, right? Hold on.
Interested in men that have kids also?
Say it again.
Do you ever put the shoe on the other foot and say that there's a whole bunch of women that don't want a man who's a baby daddy to 5 women?
No.
Right? Because you have
it doesn't matter if a man has children.
That have a lot of
it doesn't matter.
A lot of women, right? And we don't really discuss how they may be a turnoff to women.
Ma'am, hold on, man. Hold on. What you're saying does not meet the bar of logic. So let's do it like this.
Okay.
Me and you are seeing each other.
All right.
If it is true that 80 to 85% of the time children live with the mom, how are my children going to affect me and your relationship? How will my children pose a debt? You'll likely never see them. How will my children affect me and your dating relationship?
Well, it would take time away from me.
How?
Because if you're a father that's gone, just because your children don't live with you, don't mean you don't still have to allocate time for them.
Okay, so studies suggest that the reason it's good that 2 people in relationships, husband and wives, have jobs is because it says that we need significant time with each other to still have that desire for each other and things, right? So the time that I'm away from you dealing with my kids, I need that anyway. We need to be around each other for 24. Listen, hold on. We don't. Okay, so ma'am, hold on. Ma'am, you gotta stop talking. Stop talking when I'm. Okay, I gotta get rid of it. Ma'am, stop talking when I'm talking. Damn.
Why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling? Maybe you needed to hush and listen to me.
Ma'am, that's the quickest way to get kicked. That's the quickest way to get kicked off of this panel. You can't come up here with disrespect. You come to my panel.
I'm not trying to disrespect you at all. At all.
So when I ask you to stop, please stop, ma'am.
Well, I didn't hear you say stop.
That's why I had to yell. Okay, listen. So you believe we need to be around each other to the extent you believe we need to be around each other to the extent where my children are getting neglected. Would you even be attracted to me if I wasn't taking care of my children?
No.
Okay, so now let's flip this thing on the other foot. Here's how your trio children will affect me. Me and you come in from a movies, and listen, it's lit. The night is lit. We've been sneaking and touching on each other in the movie theater. I've been kissing on your neck. We done knocked over the damn popcorn. It's heated. I can't wait to get you back to the house.
To get home, okay?
Now, the moment we walk through that door, can I start stripping you butt naked?
No.
Okay, ma'am. So I'm showing you how. Listen, not only that, check this out. The average African American man makes between around $50,000 a year. Okay. Now that's right. Now after tax, a significant mortgage changed out. My question to you is this: when I buy me and you something to eat, if I go get me and you some panda, it's going to cost around $20. How many children do you have right now?
I have 2 grown adult children. Yeah.
Okay, you have 2 children. Would you be okay if I bought me and you something to eat and didn't bring them anything?
Would I be? Say that you broke up.
Would you be okay if I brought me and you something to eat over your house and didn't bring your children something?
Truly, you're talking to me now. Not every time you have to do that.
No, I'm never bringing them nothing. Those aren't my children.
Well, I'm answering your question. If you just thought of me and brought me something, no, I would not be mad.
Ma'am, that's terrible that you're going to force your children to watch me and you eat.
No, I wouldn't eat in front of my children. That's not what we've been
They're
doing.
going to smell it. They're going to see the pizza guy.
My children seeing you and thinking of me and bringing me something.
Ma'am, listen to me, sweetheart. Listen to me, sweetheart.
Don't twist my words because I didn't say that.
Listen to me, sweetheart, because I think you're reaching. So when the pizza man knocks on that door, you think that listen, when I bring that food, you think your kids aren't going to smell it?
Of course they're going to smell it.
Good brother.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how your night's going, man.
Man, it's going wonderful, more than amazing.
Tell me what you think about the conversation.
Oh, I wish I had a pen. I'm just taking notes. I've been just listening here. But hey, well, what are you referring to?
Do you believe that when a man has children by other women, that it doesn't affect his current girlfriend like her children affects him?
Oh yeah, of course not, man. When the guy have kids, more than likely he's not going to be a single father.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen. Me and you can walk in my house after the movies, and I can knock everything off of my kitchen island and ravish your body. Listen, there won't be none of this. Shh, baby, the kids. There will be none of that. We're going to tear this house up. That's the difference, sweetheart, I'm trying to get you to see. And here's what I would implore you.
See that.
Listen, hold on. Here's something that I would implore you. This is very important for all women to hear this. I would implore you. This is where we get in a lot of trouble, men and women. You guys must stop comparing yourselves to us. We're not the same. And you guys don't just do it listen, you don't do it in just one instance. What we hear, especially from African American women, we're on 4 different platforms right now. We've been doing this show for 4 years. Usually when we say something not in women's favor, you know what they say? But what about the men? We're not the same.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. That is the problem with the relationship between particularly black men and black women right now, is that there are too many black women that say he do it, so I could do it too. I agree with you 100%. I am teeter-tottering on the double standard line when it comes to my opinion of how women should handle themselves versus how men should handle themselves. And the first rule for me is you don't compare yourself to a woman and you don't compare yourself to a man.
I agree.
What I have to do and what you have to do are 2 different things in this relationship, and it will always be like that.
It will always be like that. Give me 1 second, brother. I'm coming right to you. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing right here. Did you know that you guys have double standards that we wish we had? Do you know how easy it is for a woman to have sex? Even with handsome men. Do you know how hard it is for a handsome man to go out and have sex? We usually have to have done well for ourselves financially or went and muscled up, or it's tough for men to have sex. It's really tough. If I can't use my phone right now, and I'm talking about you, if me and you, whatever state you're in, it doesn't even matter what state you're in. If you walk out of your door right now and I walk out of my door right now, we both have signs above our head that say, just recently out of a 20-year relationship, just looking for a one-night stand, ma'am, you will cause a traffic jam, and I will be sitting with that sign over my head for probably 2 weeks. So you guys have double standards. Listen, and if we're going to be honest, can you agree that there has been a lot of women throughout history who have gotten promotions with high-paying jobs that they didn't really deserve just because they were a woman, an attractive woman?
100%.
We don't get that either. We don't get that either. So we both have double standards. I know sometimes it seems unfair, but we look at you guys the same way. Sometimes the double standards you have are unfair to us. Go ahead, brother.
Well, this is just a serious, fair question. This one's for her, actually. So, I mean, this is a serious, fair question. Like, it's just free game, right? I just really want to know. I just want to know if you have a good response. Well, I just want to hear what your response may be.
Okay.
What value would you say an older woman brings in a relationship?
See, that just being older doesn't necessarily bring value. I'm not someone that's just gonna say because someone is 50 years old, then that she brings more to a table than a 25-year-old. That's not what I'm gonna say ever, right? But if a woman is wise, experienced, learned, right, whatever mistakes that she made in her youth, she's corrected. You understand? If she prioritizes properly, that's a value that I think she can bring to the relationship. You know what I mean? If you're young, you're still able to trip and fall due to lack of knowledge. You understand what I'm saying to you? And sometimes, like he said, he tried to make a woman lose weight. He tried to talk to the women that tried to make them better, right? And it was hard.
Hey, give me a second. Give me a second, please. Give me a second real quick. Shout out to Preem for supporting the show with the 20-ball cash app. Shout out to my brother Biggs over here rocking out with us. I appreciate the love. Give me a second. I want you to keep your train of thought. Through the Fire podcast, definitely over here rocking out with us. Okay, that was Through the Fire. Through the Fire, you can call in 5 minutes. You hear about the research that explains every man and woman sleeps with, the man's DNA stays in her a lifetime. His DNA plants in her brain, eye tissue, heart, etc. Okay, see, that's another. There's just too many components that men find unattractive. Shout out to my brother Love Lake, definitely in the building. Even the older women in churches dress like, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. But go ahead.
Yeah, but so I think it has to be. I think a woman of value, there's no age you can put on that. That's my opinion.
I could go for that.
Being healthy, intelligent, listening, right? Now, I'm always going to say a woman needs to listen, but she needs to listen to something that is worthy of her attention. You understand? Just because you a man don't mean I need to listen to you. You need to be speaking something that is going to make me better, that's going to teach me something. You understand what I'm saying to you? And if it's not that, then shut up.
I agree with that. I don't think all men are leaders. I don't think women should submit to every man. I believe a woman can submit to a certain caliber of man and ruin her entire life, right? But herein lies the debacle, whereas the burden is laid upon the women to select their men wisely. Because I do. That's why you guys have heard me say, I have never in my life ever locked in with a ratchet or one of those tough to deal with women, because they are for recreational use. Those women will.
Can I be honest with you though, Stacey? Before I get up here, I want to blame the mothers for that. I want to blame the mothers who do not teach their daughters the real. I want to blame the mothers who don't tell their daughter that you won't have to learn to do some things that I told you you shouldn't never do.
You understand? Like, I'm gonna keep it not to be raunchy or anything, but when it comes to oral sex, mothers don't talk about that with their daughters.
I agree.
So the first time that a daughter, a young woman might find out about that is through a man. And so all the things, that's why we have the term cougar and MILF, right? Because as a woman gets older and she realizes sex is not a bad thing, she's damn near 40.
Right. I agree with that.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
I agree with that. I agree with everything that you just said. It
It
has to start with the mothers aren't teaching them.
Their daughters. This is what it is. You want a millionaire? All right, make sure you a millionaire, right? You want your hair done? Make sure you can pay to get your hair done, right? Because I tell my son all the time, don't be paying for no woman to get her hair done. That's how she was getting her hair done before you met her, right? You could.
Listen, hold on. Let me give you some pushback on that. I'm the caliber of man that, let's say it's just a side. I don't want to call her a side chick because she deserves more respect than that. Let's say it's something that me and her both have not put a title on it, but I really respect her. I'm just not ready for a relationship. This woman picks up the phone whenever I call. This woman goes out of her way to be there. She'll come up. She gives me her body. A woman like that, I'm doing things for her. I believe that there's a price to pay for a woman who goes above and beyond the call of duty to lay her feminine touch on you when you've had a tough day. Even if you guys aren't in a long-term relationship, if that woman has committed to you to that degree, she can call me. I'm going to make her life easier because I need her to know that she's on the right track with the things that she's doing that make me happy. She deserves compensated for that, in my opinion.
And there are so many men that are not like you. And that's what I need a man like you to understand, unfortunately. But you know how many losers she went through before she got to you? You know what I'm saying? You know how many men that don't handle a woman of that caliber properly she had to go through before she found you, who sees the good in her, sees her worth, and is willing to pour into her. And I think a lot of men do not take accountability for their gender, how fucked up sorry for cursing, their gender could really and truly be to women. You know what I mean? How many male chauvinists they have to go through? How many negative entity of just men, right? Before she meets you, who is everything that she wanted. But now, like you said, unfortunately, now she got the armor up, and now you just being a good man, unfortunately, ain't enough because the bad men said they were good men.
Listen, I got a question for you real quick. You were definitely raised with a father figure in your life, weren't you?
No.
What?
I am a product of a single mother.
Well, listen, hold on. Because I'm going to say this about you. You are a very understanding woman. You are a very impartial woman. You are a woman who can be told things, and if they make sense, like that is very unusual in someone who is raised by a single parent mother.
Well, because that's another dynamic, right? My mother used to keep it real. She would say things like when she had to wake me up to take out the garbage, she was like, well, you know, your dad was not insulting him, just saying, you know, if there was a man in the house, there'd be certain things that would be handled in the house. You know what I mean? And not, you know, saying that she couldn't take care of those things. She wasn't insulting herself or bringing her work down, but she never wanted me to lose, like, respect for men. You know what I mean? When it came to just because there wasn't one around, she still maintained respect for men in general. You know, you understand? Even if it was something simple like, yeah, dang, I open up the pickle jar kind of energy, right? She still maintained that, and that's why I say we gotta blame the mothers, because I'm here talking to you as a woman that was raised by a single mother who poured into me to make sure that I maintain the respect for men on a whole across the board, just for what they bring to the table, right? And you got mothers that don't do that with their daughters, right? Because they got fucked horribly in a relationship. They tell their daughters, men ain't nothing, these dudes ain't nothing. So unfortunately now men have to go through that. I told my daughter the other day, I was like, do you know how much no's men hear before they get a yes?
Mm-hmm. I think your children are like that. I think your children are like
that. Done where there was a lesbian woman, a white woman, who went undercover as a man for a year.
I'm familiar with that. I think you
Jesus,
probably
the level of rejection and disrespect that she got, and this is a Caucasian woman. It wasn't even a woman of color.
I think do your children have their father in their life?
Yes.
I think your
I'm
children
not with
are
it, but
your
they're
hold
definitely
on.
around.
Your children, I think your children are probably gonna turn out really well. Like if this is who you are most of the time, like yeah, I think your children are probably gonna turn out well. Do they look like that's the path that they're on?
I've my son is working on his electrician license right now. My daughter's a college graduate.
Yeah, I figured that. I figured that.
Like it is to be productive in my house.
Listen, let me say this because some of you guys missed it at the beginning of the show. At the beginning of the show, when I told you guys that some of the women who get treated bad, it's not because these are amazing women. When men encounter good women, we know when we encounter good women, and we don't just set out to lie on them. I know, I feel the vibes off of this woman right now. It is hard for me to get up and get on another platform and say, oh, she wasn't shit. Her kids probably. We don't just tell lies for the most part. That's not what's happening. So if you're getting bad outcomes from men, you might want to listen to what they're saying because they're probably not lying and their identification of you is probably spot on. Pay attention.
Change your algorithm. It's all you. It's all on you. If you, like I said, if you still looking for that drug dealer energy you was trying to get at 23, mama, and you not respecting the man who just come to work, go home, sleep, and do it all over again, you gonna find yourself by yourself.
And listen, and here's listen.
Those type of men.
And listen, and here's what happens when they find themselves by themselves for extensive periods of time. Now they on social media talking about men ain't shit. No, it's some things you need to fix. That's why you're by yourself. Men don't look at amazing women who make them feel good and say, I think I want to stay away from her. We don't do listen, we don't do this. We don't go to amazing restaurants and say that meal was absolutely amazing. I think I'm never going there again. We don't do that.
And the restaurant is so good, I'm not even telling anybody about it. I'm gonna keep it a secret and I'm gonna hold it close to me. That's what they do with amazing women, and it doesn't even have to be a relationship level, right? It doesn't. We talking about a platonic level. If you're lucky enough to have a woman in your life where she just pours into you, but you don't have to have any SES with her. You don't have those kind of connections.
I agree.
Just that feminine touch that you talk about alone will help build you, right?
I agree.
So I think because of you being a man, sometimes women might want you to say it nicer, right? So that they understand where you're coming from, but you don't got to do that because those that get it, get it.
That's who it's for. It's for the ones who get it. I agree. I appreciate you coming up.
All right, have a good one, dear.
You take care, sweetie. Talk to me, brother. What you got for me?
Hey, man, I've been watching the videos, not just this one, just in general, man. We're gonna start with the older woman, like back before we go back to the streets with, but yeah. So I was the same question I asked her. I was like, I've listened to you, Kevin Samuels, AMS. I've been coached up. You know what I'm saying? I was a little lost out here in the field,
no doubt. And that's what this is for, brother. That's what this is for. Those who's lost out in the field. Do you know the leveling up that you've gotten if you say, I was lost, but I feel coached up now? Brother, that's leveling up, brother. That's leveling up. So that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing that you know how to hear information that's valid when you hear it and then apply it to your life. That's what we all are supposed to be. That's why I read so many books. You see what I'm saying? We got to level up and do better than we did yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. That's facts. But all right. I was saying, same question for her. Back, in reference to the question with her. What value do an older woman bring? I'm saying that because they do use up all their prime years, thotting around it. She was like saying that women shouldn't be held accountable for the decisions that they make or the selections rather with the men. And then it's like you got dudes like me over here. We see like I've been in the bleachers. Y'all been in the game. So as I'm looking at life, like I'm blooming late, but you know what I'm saying? and it's finna be my season. You know?
Right.
So
I think an older woman can bring value. See, here's the thing. The issue that we're having is most women don't know their place. They don't know their role. If you're older and you have compromised your opportunities that you had when you were young, boobs was tight, skin was tight, you was fine. If you was playing games with that, then that's fine. But unfortunately, in your later years, when your value has dropped, you will be at the mercy of men. Men will get to choose whether or not they want to lock you down. Now, to answer your question, the right older woman, brother, she could be so nurturing. It'll almost feel like all of the tough aspects of your life is being taken care of. She's going to be a feminine woman. She's going to be a woman who, like Pam Grier, who's still attractive. She's going to be a woman who knows the difference between the roles of a man. And bro, listen.
yeah, and I'm definitely attracted to him. But I'm saying as far as like building, I'm just like, it's a little late because is that fair to me? I be wanting to make sure I get the bang for my buck at this point because I've been getting the short end of the stick during the game.
But listen, you need to also make sure that you don't get out there and get the playing around so long to where you miss out on somebody amazing. Like, I'm not a red pill. I'm lifestyle. I'm thought-provoking lifestyle and personal growth, right? I believe a lot of red pill, and I'm not talking about the true definition. The true definition of red pill is valid. But what a lot of guys did, they started, people like Fresh and Fit who don't do well with women, they started red pill channels to spew hate for women. They hate women.
I don't watch them.
Men don't hate women. We can choose, or you not for me, you done did too much damage for yourself. But to run around just hating women and being an angry man, that's like feminine, right? We don't do that. So what I would say to you is this. While you out there playing, because men probably need to have their play time. That's what we get our experience from in the dating world, right? But make sure that you can identify a really good woman when you see one and you don't just treat her like a bust down. Because, brothers, the right woman in your life will change your effing life, bro. I swear on everything I love. The right woman come into your life and she will take you to places that you hadn't even already had as a part of your plans. The right woman.
Okay. This is directed towards a single mother situation. Do you think that, because I'm 34, I turned 35 this year, no kids. I'm new in my career. I'm actually in a career field, and I don't have no kids. Like, can I date a girl with kids? Is that fair to me? Because I understand the dangers of the shit. You get what I'm saying?
What if she's amazing? What if every time you around? Now, me, I'm not dating a woman who got more than one kid. And I prefer that the daddy wasn't even in the life, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But what if this woman with one kid, every time you around her, you just feel good for no reason at all? Listen, my cousin, I'm going to be real with you. My cousin got caught up in a situation. This woman, he called me on the phone and he said, cuz if you could see right now, she would come in when he would be at her house. She would just come in and drop his favorite. She would go purchase bottles of his favorite alcoholic beverage. And she would just, if he was in there, she would come sitting in there on the rocks. Baby, you hungry? Already know what bro, it's hard to lose with something like that, man. Make sure she's benefiting your life. That's all I say. And be willing to benefit her life too if she's benefiting your life.
It's tough now for me now to like consider this because like now I'm to the point where I hide from women. I ain't even trying to. I'm going the other way. Everybody, I'm going that way. I'm really like, nah, I don't really want to mess up what I got going career wise.
Okay. I can feel that. If you focused on your purpose, I would kind of steer clear of serious relationships.
Right, but it's the thing with chicks. It's just like if she got a kid, I'm just so turned off by that shit. I just will not get going anymore. No matter what she say, how bad she is, I would never seriously consider. No matter what. Ever since I had my experiences and just listening to y'all talk and just my own form of I just formed my own formula.
Right. I feel that.
You know, able to succeed.
I feel that
with this shit.
But I'm gonna say this to you too, though, bro. Listen, do you believe? And we ain't talking about women. Do you believe when we've been all raised to hear two heads are better than one?
And we all been believed.
Do you believe that? We've all been raised two heads are better than one. Do you believe that?
I believe two heads are better than one.
Me too. Brother, all I'm telling you is don't get so hung up on your beliefs to where you miss out on a teammate, man, who can help you get where you're trying to go times faster, bro. For real. It happened to me. The mother of my children, bro, I don't know where I would be if we hadn't. I don't know, man. I was in the streets,
it's power
man.
in numbers, though. It's power in numbers.
I agree.
But man, it gotta be the right. It gotta be the right.
I agree with that. I agree.
Compatibility level, interest level, all that gotta align, man.
But you as the man, you are supposed to be making sure that not only you select the right woman, but you are the caliber of man who can lead adequately. You got to be able to lead, and the way you're going to be able to lead is you're going to have experience in life. That's what creates leaders, life experiences. I tell people, I believe men, when we were in school, most men should have been in at least 2 fist fights going to school, like that. Men's experiences is where our wealth comes from. Our experiences. We need experience. We need experience dating. We need experience in the world. Because if you don't have experience with the world, when you get a hold to the right woman, you won't know how to handle her. You won't know how to lead her.
I ain't gonna cap. And this thing, I'm gonna be honest. I did run across one chick. I think I was like 28. I was 29, and she was already in her career, and like it was set in stone.
Right.
I didn't want to move in with her. I wasn't trying to mess with her on the set. I was just trying to like keep her in the friend zone. But she ended up just took me somewhere I never went before. A comedy show. I was like, damn, this was quick.
That's what I'm saying.
She begged for me. She begged for us to hit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I really ain't, because I'm on retention. I'm seeing retention guy. I ain't doing nothing.
Right.
So I broke my fast. I broke my fast and broke the dang on retention too. It went over there and hit her. It worked for a minute, but it was levels to it, and that was my first time seeing it was levels to it. And I will admit, I was like, dang, I see it's something else more to dating than sexual attraction here.
Yeah.
I did like her.
I think the least value comes from the extra part. But listen, I'm about to get back to the show, man. I appreciate you coming up and rocking out with me.
Hey, man, appreciate it, man.
You already know, bro. Boom. Royal Banks in the building.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, tell me how your night's going, man.
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the conversation.
What's your thoughts?
I'm only 27, so I don't have that much experience, but I was listening a lot, and
kind of like men and women just need to be taught a little better. Well, what was the original topic?
You said men and women need to be taught a little better.
Yeah, but what was the original topic? I kind of wanted to say what was the original topic? Okay. So I can just speak on online.
The original topic was talking about, a lot of times men have lost a lot of time by trying to resalvage women who have already made the mistakes that men find unattractive. And it's better that they deal with somebody who hasn't already made them, somebody younger who hasn't already made the mistakes that men find unattractive, like kids, getting too big, already developed a mouth, have a high body count. So that's pretty much what we're talking about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I genuinely think that at a certain age, women, they start to get their hormones at like a very, very young age, like 16, right? Like 16, 15, and, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see that, I attract older women single and younger women single. I'm only 27, so I don't have a whole bunch of experience with it, but I genuinely think that it's an education issue. I like to just get to the root of problems because I'm not that detailed, but I feel like if as a child, like 10 or 15, or even younger than that, like 5, if we can like accept the kids and stop looking at them as just little kids who don't know anything, but treat them as beings who can accept a lot of education. It's just simple. I think that'll mitigate a lot of the issues that we see as we get older because it's been a cycle from your parents, your grand. It's just a constant cycle of just ignorance. And honestly, I just think that's where it ends. We keep trying to talk about the solutions to these problems that are so old. It's just anachronistic, and it's kind of tiring. You know what I mean? Because
Well, it's for the people who it's for. Some people haven't heard these informations. Like, information never gets old. You disagree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I disagree. It doesn't get old, but I disagree. Some information isn't needed. I think there's a balance. Like, we don't need all the information, but we definitely need some of it. We need the important information, but some of the other information is just kind of it doesn't really help as much.
Well, that is subjective of what information is and isn't important. What you may find redundant or something like that, somebody else may find life changing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But think about this. Where you're at right now in life, somebody right now who's younger than you is just now coming up on the information that you heard 10 years ago, and it's about to change their life. But that same information is boring to you now because you heard it 10 years ago.
That's true.
Information is definitely beneficial. I think the thing is executing. That's the problem that we're having. We telling people men and women need to be in shape. Men and women need to be in shape. If nothing else, just for your health. But I found this. Another thing that's taking place, like we all know, I nail women to the cross when they're outside of their value and they're doing it on purpose, intentionally. But one thing that I found is men don't acknowledge that we have a role to play too. The men who say they want attractive women, you have to be the caliber or become the caliber of man who can obtain attractive women. Is your money right? Do you have the right job? Are you in shape? Are you handsome? Is your swag on point? See, we got things to work on too. You see what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah. How do you look at young women who are attracted to older men, 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 14-year-old, young girls who I've known who get their first start with older men like 30s or 20s. What are your thoughts on that? Because
I think somebody, I think in the age ranges you spoke, I think somebody should be on their way to prison.
So let's speak on that because, I think that the laws should be changed. I'm not saying that the grape or any of those promiscuous acts are good. I obviously deny a lot of those crazy promiscuous ideas that we conjure up. However, those ideas are natural. There's a natural inclination in human beings to think of these very very
so hold on.
Things.
You think
There's a balance that needs to be had.
You think it's natural. Hold on, brother, hold on. You think it's natural for a 35-year-old man to desire a 14-year-old girl?
It starts somewhere. That's what I'm saying. The natural idea starts at a certain point and isn't caught in the right way. I mean, I'm no different. I'm no different than a lot of people. I've never had those imaginations, but what I'm saying is that it's a recurring problem in our community. Like, for example, I met a woman when I was in New York who had a very intense experience with a family member, and she was a very young age. And when I talked to the person,
I didn't really know what to say because I'm like, okay, this person has an experience I never experienced before. But you know, but what I got from that is that man was messed up, and the fact that he was so messed up, it started somewhere.
Okay, I think you. Hey, hold on, brother. Hold on. I think you're getting caught up in the wrong things. I think you're starting to see value in that something started from somewhere. Sniffing coke started from somewhere too. Is it a good thing?
It does have some medical benefits. It does.
Do the benefits? Listen. Do the pro? Listen. Hold on. So let's do it like this. Shooting heroin. It started from somewhere. What are the benefits of shooting heroin?
There's only addiction and self-destruction for heroin. The title heroin is only for addiction and self-destruction.
Okay, so hold on. But under your premise, hold on. Under your premise, the usage of it started somewhere, and it makes me think that you think that there's a benefit in being able to say something started from somewhere. Evil started from somewhere. Evil started from somewhere, right?
If you look at the root of any problem, you'll find a solution to it. That's how you find solutions. You look at the root.
No, you find solutions to the heroin addiction by never doing it.
Okay. But the individual who created the heroin, though, where was his mind?
I don't know. I don't want to get caught up in all of that, brother. I don't know. I don't know. Like this, we call these twister plots, like never-ending thoughts and things like that. Like I just know. Do you believe that you know right from wrong?
Yes.
Would you want somebody's a 40-year-old touching your 13-year-old sister?
Hell no.
Okay, so it's wrong, brother. So listen. Let me ask you this: you think that you should be able to date a 16-year-old?
No, I don't. But I know 16-year-olds who've had experiences with older men. So
bro, I know white people who have hung black people. It doesn't mean that it's good.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's good, but from the last guest said about how the misogyny or the mechanistic, she used the word mechanistic men and things like that. When I heard her speaking like that, the first thing I thought was like, what made that person mechanistic? What made that man mechanistic?
Okay, so listen.
Not even want to go in the dating pool again, or
listen. Hold on, brother. Listen, let me ask you something. Brother. Listen, do you believe that slavery was a good thing? Transatlantic slave trade. Do you believe that was a good thing?
The transatlantic plantation slavery? Hell no.
Okay. Do you care what made them decide to do it? Or do you just care that it was a terrible thing to do?
People? Do I care what made white people do it?
Yeah, do you care? Do you place importance on why they did it or the importance of that it was wrong?
Well, now that I know, okay, if I didn't know, I wouldn't care. But who I am, and if I was enslaved vicariously, I would probably think there's a reason for them doing it because it took a lot of work to get. Am I bullshitting right now? Think about it.
I don't know, bro. Let me ask you this: do you think like this often? You probably do, don't you? Like, do you think that there's a such thing as going?
I usually just leave it there because in real life, you don't want anything to happen to your loved ones, for example. But if I'm really trying to be like a real all around, solution kind of thinker, I would think about these things.
Okay, so let me ask you this: you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Not just the individual person's problem, because it doesn't stop there.
Okay, so listen. Hold on, brother. Hold on. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Have you ever been to prison?
No, but I've been to court.
You've committed violence before, haven't you?
Yeah, it was a fight when I was young. So it was a stupid fight.
So listen, brother. Let me ask you. I'm just trying to rock with you. Do you think in my personal opinion, man? Like, because your thoughts are strong. Have you ever been to therapy?
No. Why was therapy?
You think therapy is a bad thing? I have a therapist now.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I've never sought it. I just read. I just try to educate myself and just, use my wrong and right, discernment.
Well, is that working for you? Because it sounds like you believe it's okay for a 40-year-old to touch a 30-year-old.
No, I don't think it's okay for that to happen, but I think there's a balance in nature of children. Because, like, for example, when I was young, I liked older women, and I didn't think it was a wrong thing because, like, okay, at least I'm glad I'm not attracted to the same sex.
Yeah, but listen, when a man, listen, sir, when a younger man is attracted to an older woman,
hormones in general.
When a younger man is attracted to an older woman, it's not the same as when an older man is attracted to a younger woman.
No, but I'm talking about the opposite end. What if a younger woman? Because I know 16, 14-year-old women, a lot of my friends know, who are attracted to older men, and they lose their V card to older men from a young age, and they don't talk about it. I mean, I just saw a video on Instagram about this, some kind of entertainer talking about how when she was 16, she dated a 30-year-old man. And I'm like, okay, well, that's wrong, obviously, by the law, but her nature didn't tell her it was wrong. And she still condemns men who look at younger women. It's a conundrum. And
nature does tell us when it's wrong. And it takes a woman to reach a certain age to even be able to have her menstrual.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is that my point is that there's a balance that needs to be talked about more intently for this issue, because I just look at it from a very empathetic standpoint. I know I want people to go to jail for breaking the law, especially a law that's based in people's innocence, because that's important. But there's still a part of human nature that's disregarded in law, and that's really what I'm talking about. Because that's where you'll find the solution. So we can.
I don't think they're looking at whether or not it's a part. I don't think they're. Hold on. I don't think that they're looking at whether or not it's a part of human nature. I think they're looking at the results of it. If I do this thing, does it create a good or bad outcome? So even if it's human, okay. So listen, check this out. In lion prides, they go overthrow other prides, and they take the lives of the children, and they take the lives of the dad. Do you think we should be able to do that in society today?
Say that again. I didn't understand that. That kind of went over my head.
In the animal kingdom, when they overthrow a pride, they slaughter the children and they slaughter the male. Do you think that we should be able to do that in today's time? Go knock on a woman's door, and if the husband is there, wipe him out and wipe his out so she can be all mine. Do you think, even though that's nature, do you think we should be able to apply that to humanity?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, brother. You're talking about this thing with nature. We have to be careful with what part of nature we are applying too much to the animal kingdom, and what part is humanity.
Agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, some things are wrong. Like, I hope nobody comes in and wipes me out, and I ain't bothering nobody. You gonna come wipe me out and wipe my kids out, and yeah. Some things I think we should know that. Okay, so here's something that I do that you should do. There are some gray areas in life, even in very important aspects of life. There are some gray areas. When I bump into those gray areas and I really, really, really need an answer to whether or not what's going on is right or wrong, I ask myself, this thing that I'm pondering doing, what would the world be like if everyone did this thing that I'm thinking about doing? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I think about that too.
So think about it. What would the world be like if everybody in America saw a woman that they found attractive and they went to the house, slaughtered the dad and the children? What would the world be like if everybody was running around here 50 years old, sleeping with 13-year-olds, man? What would the world be like?
Let's be real, though. Let's be real. We already do that. I mean, we literally already slaughter children. I mean, I know that's obviously redundant. We already know that. But there's a point to the fact that a lot of these things that nature we see in animal kingdom, we already do more than ever. And that's like I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong 100% because you're right, but we shouldn't do those things. But if we're being true, we have to go to the root of why we act like animals, act like lions.
No, we don't have to go to the root of it, brother. We have to establish a code that we walk in. We have to listen. I have a code that I walk in. There's things that I simply won't do. There's lines that I will not cross, and my life has been okay. Do you have a code that you walk in?
Yeah, I follow a code. Yeah, it's a general code.
Okay.
Do unto others as you would do unto yourself. Pretty simple as that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty much that simple. For real, it's that simple. Like, I think we have to get to a place, man, to where, because the only reason I asked you about therapy, let me ask you this.
Okay.
You yourself, I'm talking about you personally. Do you believe that you could see yourself maybe getting drunk or smoking a blunt and doing something terrible, like along the lines of these conversations we having tonight?
Actually, no, I couldn't. I've been in those situations and I didn't do it, even when I was
Okay.
inebriated.
Okay. I just wanted to
Yeah,
ask, man.
I've actually been. Well, I'll tell you an example. I was in Planet Fitness, and I wasn't inebriated this time, but I was at Planet Fitness. I was exercising, trying to better myself, and then I tried to talk to somebody who I thought was my age because I just looked pretty young, but she happened to be 16, and she told me she was 16. And my first thought was like, "Oh shit, maybe I was like, fuck it, let me just see what it's about." But then I was like, actually, no, I'm not gonna do that because if I was 16, I don't want to take advantage of somebody who's 16. I don't want somebody to take advantage of me if I was 16. So that's why I didn't do that. And you know, that might be a little too personal, but there are a lot of people who go through that. And if you act on it, then only you and God can know the truth of that. You know, and but there's a moral code that everybody should stand by, but most people don't because it's not a moral world. You know what I mean? And that's why I say like we need to take our children. And one thing I want to say too, I want to say that like I think that I think children should be exposed to more adult themed thinking a lot faster. And I'm not saying that don't take away the innocence and the childlike experiences from children, but children shouldn't be treated all the time. I'm not talking about in a devious way. I'm talking about in a upright way. You know what I mean? They can handle a lot of things, and I think those are the reasons why they can't discern when they get those hormonal feelings. Speaking from a point where struggling with the hormonal changes as a teen into an adult. Somebody in the comments said that I'm struggling with a lot of adult thinking, and it might be right, but I'm an example of what happens when you withhold a lot of adult information from a young child because a lot of young children these days already act like adults and they really shouldn't be because we don't want them to be. And I think there's something to be said there because a lot of adults these days, still act like children.
I don't want to drag this out too long, but listen, I'm telling you, do you have any close friends? Any close friends? You don't, do you?
No, I have a lot of close friends, yeah.
Do you have these conversations with them?
No, we talk about anime.
Okay, that was
I'm
very
an anime
beneficial
type
for me to know. Okay, so let me ask you this: how old are you right now? 27.
Yeah, I'm 27. Yeah.
Listen, I have a therapist, brother. You should get a therapist so you can just throw all of your own personal thoughts out there. Throw all and give your therapist the latitude to let you know when some of them could. Because, bro, if you think about something long enough, you'll act on it. You disagree with that?
No, I disagree. No, if you think about it long enough, yeah, you will. Yeah. My bad, you will.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, brother. You got some thoughts that maybe you shouldn't have said up here, and like, so if you'll say them up here, man, you might need to, nip that stuff in the bud like right away. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to start thinking it's okay to touch kids and stuff, man.
No, I never said anything about touching kids. I said that pedophiles will go to jail. But what I did say is that there are a lot of young people who should be taught, for lack of better words, the birds and the bees, in a truthful way instead of withholding a lot of information so they don't get confused. Things get.
I agree with a portion of that. I agree with a portion of that. Like I agree with a portion of that. I'm about to get back to the show, brother. I appreciate you coming up and rocking out with me, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Who was that? Through the Fire. Hold on, let me see. Somebody called up. Through the Fire wanted to come up. I didn't even realize we got Polo Honcho. Polo Honcho down there bugged out. They said, Stacy, end the conversation, Stacy. Listen, where are my Cash App people at? My people haven't been so supporting the show like that here. Shout out to my girl Sweets over here, dropping the galaxy over on us, supporting the show, keeping it going over here on TikTok. My girl. They said I showed my ass last night. They tell me that's something that I typically do often, right? Somebody tried to call in. You can go ahead and call in. But listen, I want to say this. What makes this so important is that a lot of women don't understand timing. They think leverage is permanent. It's not. They think options are permanent. They're not. They think attention is commitment. It's not. Right? You think because men will still flirt with you, sleep with you, or even entertain you, that means they still hold the same, that you still hold the same long-term leverage that you had 20 years ago. It's not true. I needed some poontang, and you seem like a likely candidate. If you guys allow yourselves to get too old to where a lot of the things that men are turned off by women about, you have done a lot of these things. In your later years, it will be really difficult for you to secure a man of quality. But then when you can't, you can get some Ray Ray and Pookie. But then when you can't get a man of quality, you get on social media and you say men ain't shit. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. Men are shit. The only thing is you've done so much dating damage to yourself that the men that you desire, you don't qualify for them. Men will give temporary attention to a lot of women that they never would take seriously or choose, right? So when I talk about leverage, I'm not talking about a woman's ability to attract a text message. I'm not talking about a woman's ability to get somebody in her inbox. I'm not talking about a woman's ability to get a man to sleep with her. I'm talking about her ability to get the kind of man she actually wants to take her seriously, to commit to her, build with her, and possibly marry her. That is a different standard. If you ladies are waiting until, listen, I'm going to say this again because we haven't spoken on in a while. There are things. Oh, okay. Yeah, he said he showed his ass. Let me see something. I know I said it earlier, but shout out to Preem over here rocking with us with the $20 cash app, and Biggs over here setting it off with us. $5 cash app, my brother. Appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Yeah, I agree, Robbie. Robbie said, listen, Robbie said it's never an option to talk to an under legal age girl. Never, brother. Please pray about them thoughts. The devil will push shit in your head. Christ said, kill the flesh daily. Have to kill. Yeah, I agree. Something you shouldn't even allow to fester in your head. Polo said my man went left quick. You see, we over here rocking heavy on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. You guys can come on up if you have any disagreements with the content. I don't care what platform you're on. If you're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, play Instagram, you can come on up. Shout out to my girl Sweet over here supporting the show like crazy today. My girl. But yeah, listen. That's a different standard. You really do get treated. If you guys want to see what you look like operating out in the world, right? If you want the closest form of a worldly mirror of yourself that you can get, assess how men treat you. And if you want the super, super accurate world mirror, assess how men and women treat you and what they think about you. See, because I'm telling you guys, you're not getting treated a certain way for no reason at all. Listen, and when you judge people by that standard, it becomes very obvious that women have their greatest leverage before they make the big mistakes. So when you start getting treated a certain way, it's because you've made some of those big mistakes. If men start wanting to only smash and things like that, and not just one man, not just two men, but several men, none of the men who you have let smash, none of the men who entertain you are looking for anything serious, your value is low. Or you're in an environment with a lot of men whose value is low. Nevertheless, somebody's value is low, and it's likely going to be you. 90% of the time, it's going to be you. Men don't typically see something amazing and opt to walk in the opposite direction. That's typically not how we move. We don't move like that. uh, ooh, yeah, that was deep. But yeah, listen, you guys need to accrue your husband and the person. I'll say this: you need to start desiring serious relationships before the baby daddy, before you become a bitter person, before you get a high body count, before you start accruing masculine attitude and hardened energy, right? Before the years pile up and the competition gets stronger, before life starts to visibly show up in your face, energy, body, and attitude. This is when women can get the men to not only pursue them, but to commit to them before you have made the mistakes that men find unattractive. And here's the bad part about some of that. Some of those mistakes that we're talking about, they're irreversible. How do you undo being a baby mama? You got to wait 18 to 20 years. But then by the time you wait that 18 to 20 years for the penalties of that to wear off, you've gained 18 or 20 years on your beauty. I often tell people that some of the solution and antidote to a lot of problems, some problems, are specifically don't do them. Don't do them. Before you make all of these mistakes, that's when you can get most men of quality to take you serious. That's when women can most strongly shape their dating outcomes. Not after all of the damage, before it. Right? There's a point where I had to sit back and be honest. And what I saw was this. A lot of older women, especially women in their mid 30s and older, they're having a very difficult time dating. They're having a very difficult time getting the dating outcomes that they want. Now, that doesn't mean that they cannot date. That doesn't mean they cannot get any attention from men. That does not mean nobody wants them. But many of them are having a hard time getting the specific quality of men that they want to take them serious in turn. Why? Because the men that they want often are more attracted and have the options of younger women who have not yet made those same mistakes of being baby mamas, being too overweight, having a bad attitude, being masculine, right? They haven't done that yet. That's the part people don't want to say out loud. The older women want a certain kind of man. But that man that they want, especially if he handles his business, often knows that younger, fresher, less burdened, and more feminine women exist. We know that they exist. So while you're trying to get us to lock you down and take you serious, in our heads, we know we can do better. We know that there's women, younger women who exist who don't have children. We know that there's younger women who exist who don't have as high of an actual body count as you do. We know that they don't have the baggage. We know that they'll be easier to get along with. Oh, shit. Damn. They said they couldn't hear. Okay, got you. So we'll do it like this. They said they can't hear. And this is what I'm saying to those of you fellas who really want long-term relationships, like you're serious about it, you're gonna have to date younger, or you're gonna have to try if you can. Okay. I appreciate it, Miss Tammy. Appreciate the support. You're gonna have to date younger women, or you're gonna have to find the women. There are some good older women out there, but you have to make them meet your bar of prerequisites. You can't give them any latitude to still be a real feisty and angry woman, not to have dropped her old ways. Hopefully, she didn't even develop any of those masculine ways. But those of you who really want to be in a relationship right away, it's better off that you start with women below 35, right? They need to be below 35. I was going to say they need to be below 30, but because they haven't done that much damage. The damage is what's going to cause you guys to get into those arguments and things like that in a relationship. The damage that they've done to themselves throughout their experiences is why she's going to end up cheating on you, because she's already experienced too much good sex, right? So either you find you a woman who is younger than 35, really you should start at 30, but find a woman like that who hasn't done too much in life, or you can get you a woman who's older than 35, provided that she's still feminine, she's a nice woman, she's an understanding woman. And you can tell that by the first week dealing with her, being on the phone, you need to just listen to her. Listen if she has a soft voice. See, first and foremost, see if she was raised with a two-parent household. Bare minimum, she should have been raised with her father. If she was not raised with a father in her life, you're going to have trouble out of her. You're going to have trouble out of her in most cases. Jeez, warm in this piece. Shout out to my girl Sweets over here supporting the show. Appreciate the love, sweetie. Ah. Ah. right, people, we got a lot of work that we got to do, so I'm going to go ahead and shut the show down. Those of you who have not locked in with us on YouTube, that's where the show is. Right now, you guys are linked to our core show, which is on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, you're missing out. We got the hottest chat on YouTube, right? That's where all of the activity takes place at over here on our YouTube. So come on over here and subscribe to our YouTube at The Real Stacey Prince. All right, people, we're about to get up out of here, but I appreciate you guys rocking out with us. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to Miss Tammy over here rocking with us. You know it, you know it, you know it. And we out of here.